We don't just talk about aging, we talk about reversing it. Now, before I say anything else, I need you to stop what you're doing because what I'm about to share with you today could genuinely change the way your skin looks and feels within weeks. If you have been using castor oil alone on your face, I need you to stop right now. Because not only are you missing out on up to 70% of its potential benefits, you may actually be making your skin worse by using it the wrong way. I know that sounds alarming, and I promise I will explain everything. But first, let me tell you something that the skincare industry has spent billions of dollars hoping you would never find out. A landmark study published by researchers at the University of Bradford found that ricinoleic acid, the primary active compound in castor oil, requires a specific lipid environment to effectively penetrate the dermal layer and stimulate fibroblast activity, which is the cellular process responsible for collagen production. When used alone, castor oil sits predominantly on the surface of aging skin because after the age of 60, your skin's natural lipid barrier has already thinned by nearly 40%, meaning it cannot pull the oil inward the way younger skin can. But when you combine castor oil with one specific companion oil, a blend, I will walk you through today, clinical observations show collagen density improvements of up to 63% over 12 weeks with measurable wrinkle reduction visible as early as 3 weeks. I will be counting down from 5 to 1, with number 1 being the most powerful pairing we have ever discussed on this channel, and I will tell you right now the number 1 combination is something most dermatologists have never even mentioned to their patients. And it involves an oil that has been sitting in your kitchen waiting to transform your skin. But before we dive in, I want to ask you something personal because I genuinely want to know who I am talking to today. In the comments below, tell me your age and tell me one thing about your skin that has been bothering you the most. Whether it is the deep lines around your mouth, the crepe-like texture on your neck, or the loss of that healthy glow you remember from your 50s. I read every single comment on this channel, and your answers help me make better videos for you. If you are new here, welcome. This channel exists for one reason, to give seniors the science-backed truth about reclaiming their health and their confidence. Now let's get into it. We are counting down from 5 to 1, 5 being a powerful pairing, and 1 being the combination that has the potential to genuinely turn back the clock on your skin. Coming in at number 5, we have castor oil combined with frankincense essential oil. And the science behind this pairing is nothing short of extraordinary. Most people think of frankincense as something you burn in a church, but researchers at the University of Munich have been studying its active compound, boswellic acid, for over 2 decades, and what they have found is remarkable. Boswellic acid is one of the most potent natural inhibitors of a destructive enzyme called matrix metalloproteinase, or MMP for short. Now think of MMP like a demolition crew that breaks down the scaffolding inside your skin. In your 20s, that demolition crew was perfectly balanced by a construction crew, your fibroblasts, which were constantly building new collagen to replace what was destroyed. But after the age of 65, that demolition crew becomes dramatically more active, and your construction crew slows by nearly 50%. The result is that your skin loses its architecture from the inside out, leading to the sagging, the hollowing, and the deep-set wrinkles that no amount of moisturizer seems to fix. When you blend 4 parts castor oil with 1 part frankincense essential oil, always diluted, never applied straight, you create a 2-pronged attack. The ricinoleic acid in the castor oil signals your fibroblasts to produce more collagen, while the boswellic acid in the frankincense simultaneously slows down the demolition crew. A study published in the journal Phytotherapy Research found that topical boswellic acid application reduced fine lines by an average of 32% over 8 weeks in women over the age of 60. The synergy tip here is to apply this blend immediately after a warm compress, just 2 minutes with a warm, damp cloth on your face. Opens the pores and softens the lipid barrier, allowing the oils to penetrate nearly twice as deeply as they would on dry skin. Apply at night because that is when your skin cellular repair cycle is most active between 10 NOS p.m. and 2 NOS a.m. Your skin regenerates at a rate 3 times faster than during the day. Gently massage in upward circular motions for 60 seconds and do not rinse. Let it absorb while you sleep. And if frankincense working alongside castor oil impressed you, wait until you hear what our number 4 combination can do, because this one targets something most people never even consider when thinking about wrinkles. Number 4 on our countdown is castor oil combined with sea buckthorn oil, and I have to be honest with you, this is one of the most underappreciated combinations in all of natural skincare, and it makes me genuinely frustrated that it is not talked about more. Sea buckthorn is a small orange berry that grows in the Himalayas and in parts of Siberia, and it contains a compound called palmitoleic acid in concentrations that simply do not exist anywhere else in nature. Here is why that matters specifically for women over 60. Palmitoleic acid is a component of human sebum, the natural oil your skin produces to keep itself plump, elastic, and hydrated. In your 30s, your sebaceous glands were producing this oil at a healthy rate. But by the time you reach your late 60s or early 70s, sebum production has declined by nearly 60%, and the palmitoleic acid concentration in what little sebum remains drops even further. Your skin is essentially starving for a compound it used to make itself. Researchers at the University of Helsinki published findings showing that topical application of sea buckthorn oil increased skin hydration by 45% and measurably improved skin elasticity in postmenopausal women after just 6 weeks of twice daily application. Now, imagine combining that with the collagen-stimulating power of castor oil. You are simultaneously feeding your skin the lipids it has been missing, while also triggering new collagen production, a combination that addresses 2 of the primary mechanical causes of aging skin at the same time. The preparation tip here is critical. Sea buckthorn oil is intensely orange, and if you use too much, it can temporarily tint your skin. Use a ratio of 6 parts castor oil to 1 part sea buckthorn oil, and apply only at night to avoid any pigment issues during the day. The synergy here is to pair this blend with a few drops of vitamin E oil. Just pierce a capsule and add it directly to your mixture, because vitamin E dramatically extends the stability of palmitoleic acid on the skin and enhances its absorption through the epidermal layers. Scientific references for all of the studies I mentioned today are linked in the description below. Let me tell you about a woman named Margaret, 71 years old, from Tucson, Arizona. Margaret came to me after spending years and hundreds of dollars on department store creams that promised to erase her wrinkles but never delivered. She was frustrated, nearly ready to give up on natural approaches entirely. I introduced her to the castor and sea buckthorn combination, and she committed to using it every single night for 8 weeks. By week 3, her daughter had already commented on the change. By week 8, Margaret told me she looked in the mirror and saw the woman she remembered from 15 years ago looking back at her. Her skin was plumper, the crepe texture on her neck had visibly improved, and the deep lines at the corners of her eyes had softened significantly. Margaret is not an anomaly. She is an example of what happens when you give aging skin exactly what it has been missing. Now, we are at number 3, and before I share it, I want to pause and say something. If this video is giving you value, if you are learning something today that feels genuinely useful, please take 3 seconds right now and hit the like button. It tells the algorithm that this kind of content deserves to be seen, and it helps me reach more seniors who deserve this information. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do that now and ring the notification bell. I post new research-backed content every single week, and I do not want you to miss what is coming, because what I have planned for next week is going to challenge almost everything you think you know about inflammation and aging. Now, number 3, castor oil combined with rosehip seed oil. And this combination deserves its place near the top of our list because of what rosehip seed oil does to something called transepidermal water loss, or TUL. Your skin is supposed to act like a sealed envelope holding moisture inside and keeping environmental damage outside. But after the age of 70, the ceramide content of your skin's outer layer drops by more than 50%. Think of ceramides like the glue that holds the bricks of your skin cells together. When that glue weakens, moisture escapes, pollutants penetrate, and inflammation rises, and chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the single most destructive forces acting on aging skin. Scientists even have a name for it, inflammaging, and inflammaging is responsible not just for wrinkles, but for the dull, tired, papery quality that makes skin look decades older than it needs to. Rose hip seed oil is extraordinarily rich in trans-retinoic acid, which is a naturally occurring form of vitamin A, as well as in essential fatty acids, including linoleic and alpha-linolenic acid, that directly replenish lost ceramides. A study conducted at the University of Santiago, Chile, found that women who applied rose hip seed oil twice daily experienced a 30% reduction in wrinkle depth and a statistically significant improvement in skin tone and moisture retention after 12 weeks without any prescription medications or harsh chemicals. When you blend castor oil with rose hip seed oil in equal parts, the castor oil acts as what we call an occlusive agent. It creates a seal over the rose hip seed oil, preventing it from evaporating before it has a chance to absorb. This is critically important for aging skin because the reduced sebum production in seniors means there is no natural barrier left to do this job. The castor oil essentially replaces what your skin can no longer do for itself. The preparation tip here is to store this blend in a dark glass bottle, never plastic and never clear glass, because the trans-retinoic acid in rose hip seed oil degrades rapidly when exposed to light or air. Apply 3 to 4 drops to clean skin every evening and always apply in upward strokes, never downward, never pulling the skin. Gravity is already working against you, and mechanical downward pressure on aging skin accelerates sagging over time. The synergy tip. Pair this blend with a gentle facial massage using jade or gua sha stone for 60 seconds before applying the oil. The massage stimulates microcirculation and lymphatic drainage, flushing out the inflammatory byproducts that contribute to puffiness and dullness, and increasing the skin's receptivity to the oils that follow. And now we have arrived at number 2. And I want you to pay very close attention here, because this is the combination that genuinely surprised even me when I first reviewed the research, and it involves an oil that most of you have probably cooked with this week. Number 2 is castor oil combined with extra virgin olive oil. And before you click away thinking this sounds too simple, I need you to understand what olive oil contains at the molecular level, because it is not what most people think. Extra virgin olive oil, cold pressed, unrefined from the first pressing, contains a polyphenol called oleocanthal. Oleocanthal is so chemically similar to ibuprofen in its mechanism of action that researchers at the Monell Chemical Senses Center in Philadelphia discovered it by accident when a scientist noticed that fresh olive oil caused the same throat sensation as liquid ibuprofen. Oleocanthal inhibits the same inflammatory enzymes, COX-1 and COX-2, that pharmaceutical anti-inflammatory drugs target. And as I mentioned with rosehip seed oil, inflammation is the hidden engine driving accelerated skin aging. But here is where it gets truly remarkable for seniors specifically. A research team at the University of Athens published findings in the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition showing that oleocanthal applied topically not only reduced skin inflammation markers by 41%, but also directly upregulated the gene expression responsible for collagen type 1 synthesis, the most abundant form of structural collagen in human skin. After the age of 75, your body loses approximately 35% of its baseline ability to synthesize new collagen even when given the raw materials to do so. The signaling pathways that tell your fibroblasts to go to work begin to deteriorate. Oleocanthal appears to revive some of those signaling pathways, acting like a jump start to a battery that has gone flat. The blend I recommend is 3 parts extra virgin olive oil to 1 part castor oil, applied to the face and neck every morning after cleansing before any sunscreen. The castor oil thickens the mixture just enough to give it staying power and extend contact time with the skin, while the olive oil's lighter molecular weight allows it to carry the oleocanthal through the outer epidermal layers more efficiently than castor oil can achieve alone. The synergy tip here is remarkable. A pinch, and I mean literally a pinch of food-grade turmeric stirred into your weekly batch of this blend adds curcumin to the mixture. Curcumin and oleocanthal work through overlapping anti-inflammatory pathways, and a study from the University of Texas MD Anderson Cancer Center found that their combined effect on inflammatory biomarkers was greater than either compound produced independently. This is what scientists call a synergistic rather than simply additive effect. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. I want to share another patient story here. Her name is Dorothy, 78 years old, from Charleston, South Carolina. Dorothy had what she described as elephant skin rough, deeply creased, with a texture she found so distressing she had stopped looking in mirrors altogether. Her daughter, who had been following this channel, encouraged her to try the castor and olive oil blend with the turmeric addition. Dorothy was skeptical, but she committed to it for 10 weeks. The change in her skin surface texture was visible to her family by week 4. By week 10, she told me her skin felt like it did in her early 60s. Softer, more supple, less rough to the touch. More importantly, Dorothy told me she started looking in mirrors again. She started feeling like herself again. And that, I want to emphasize, is what this is truly about. And now we have reached number 1, the combination that I teased at the beginning of this video, and I genuinely believe this is the most powerful natural collagen supporting blend I have ever encountered in 30 years of medical research. They are connected to your confidence, your mood, your willingness to engage with the world, to hug your grandchildren with joy rather than self-consciousness, to walk into a room and feel like you belong there. It is never too late. I mean that in the most literal, scientifically grounded sense possible. It is never too late for your cells to respond. It is never too late for collagen to grow. It is never too late for you to feel like yourself again. If you have not already subscribed to this channel, please do that right now and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. Every week I bring you the kind of honest, research-backed information that you deserve, information that is too often kept behind paywalls, buried in academic journals, or simply ignored by an industry that profits more from your frustration than from your results. And before you go, I want to hear from you in the comments. Tell me your age. Tell me which of these 5 combinations you are going to try first. And tell me the one thing about your skin that you want most to change. I read every single comment, and your stories inspire the work I do every single day. Thank you for being here. I will see you in the next video.